Today, I'm diving deep into the chaos around us and challenging myself to uncover whether the devil is distracting us from God. Can I find clarity amidst the noise? In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. And before we know it, our spiritual journey takes a back seat. We're constantly being pulled in different directions, and it's no wonder we feel disconnected from our faith. But have you ever stopped to think that maybe, just maybe, this chaos is more than just a product of our busy lives? Maybe it's a deliberate attempt to distract us from what truly matters. Social media, for instance, is a huge distraction. We're constantly scrolling through our feeds, comparing our lives to others, and feeling like we're not good enough. And before we know it, hours have passed and we've wasted precious time that could have been spent deepening our relationship with God. And then there's the news. It's everywhere, all the time. And it's easy to get caught up in the latest scandals, politics, and tragedies. But how often do we stop to think about how this constant stream of negativity is affecting our spiritual well-being? On top of that, we've got our personal struggles. We're dealing with anxiety, depression, and self-doubt, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed and lost. And in the midst of all this chaos, we're supposed to find time to cultivate a deep and meaningful relationship with God. It's no wonder we feel like we're failing. But the question is, are we allowing these distractions to consume us, or are we making a conscious effort to overcome them? These distractions are not just harmless nuisances. They're actually creating a disconnect from our spiritual journey. When we're constantly bombarded with information, we start to lose touch with our inner selves. We start to forget what truly matters, and we begin to prioritize the wrong things. And before we know it, our relationship with God becomes an afterthought. But it's not just about prioritizing God. It's about recognizing the influences that are subtly leading us away from Him. When I think back on my own spiritual journey, there was a time when I felt like I was stuck in a rut. I was going through the motions of praying, attending church, and reading my Bible, but I wasn't feeling connected to God at all. And it wasn't until I started to identify the distractions in my life that I was able to overcome them and refocus on my relationship with Him. I realized that I was spending way too much time on social media and not enough time in prayer and meditation. I realized that I was letting the news dictate my mood and my outlook, and not letting God's Word be the source of my hope. For me, overcoming these distractions meant being intentional about how I spent my time. It meant setting boundaries and prioritizing my spiritual growth. And it meant being honest with myself about where I was putting my focus. When we're honest with ourselves, we can start to make changes. We can start to overcome these distractions and refocus on what truly matters. And that's exactly what I want to encourage you to do today. In a world that's screaming for our attention, it's easy to get lost in the noise. But I want to challenge you to take a step back, to recognize the distractions that are leading you away from God, and to make a conscious effort to overcome them. Take control of your time, prioritize your spiritual growth, and don't let the devil distract you from what truly matters. Thanks for watching. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you ever felt like the devil was distracting you from God? Share your experiences, and let's grow together in our faith. Don't forget to check out my other videos on faith and spirituality, and I'll catch you in the next one.